Okay, what's the next one? Maybe this is also pretty similar. What lesson took you the longest to unlearn?
Whoa, this just hit hard. Like,
These are very hard.
what
What
up?
up?
I'm Bianca,
And I'm Adrian.
and we're two independent women living in New York City going through a lot of stuff.
And that's why we're here to share our experiences with you, and hopefully, you can learn something from it.
Or you can just laugh with us.
In this episode of Women in the Wild,
What are we talking about?
we're talking about this Instagram game. Well, this game that I found on Instagram, and you've seen it too, because we've been liking the same things from We're Not Really Strangers. So if you follow or are active on Instagram, I'm sure you've been seeing these like red prompt cards. And that's basically what we're going to be using to talk about today.
Cool. Yeah, it's kind of a getting to know us more episode. And these prompts just really get you thinking. So hopefully you guys, as you hear these questions, you also ask them to yourself. Because it's like the kind of questions that they're helpful to reflect on yourself and you don't usually think about them, but they're just really good. So it kind of helps you in that way to get some self-awareness and get your mind going.
It's kind of better. It's like an icebreaker, but deeper.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. Cool. So I actually have all the prompts right here on the iPad, so I'll be reading them out. But Bianca and I will both be answering them
Just for fun.
just for fun. Okay, so I chose like a bunch of random ones from the Instagram page itself. We haven't bought the card pack itself, but it is available on Amazon, not sponsored. But I did take screenshots of what they already shared on Instagram. So I just kind of went down the line. The first one is, and you can be the first one to answer this, Bianca.
Oh, by the way, guys, I don't know what the questions are. So Adrian sent them to me. I only read the first one, but there's a bunch. So these are all like really on the spot. I feel vulnerable right now.
Mhm. I mean, probably some of them. I mean, I've seen some of them because I had to screenshot, but not a lot. Like, I didn't really think much about it. And I know that you've seen some of them because on Instagram I saw you like some
Yeah.
of the prompts. So I'm
But
like,
I don't know the ones that will be asked now.
yeah. So there's a little mystery in here. All right. The first one is, what are you proudest of yourself for saying no to recently?
That's easy. Guys inviting me over. Not even, well, it's a no, but I didn't even give an answer, just like blank, which is
Mm.
no. Just like my whole mood lately is like, I'm not going to waste time on people I know don't really care about me.
Mhm.
So I'm really proud of that. I used to say yes a lot more easily.
Yeah. Mine's similar, not boys, my friends. And it's funny because yeah, that basically just saying no to like a girlfriend date. And it's funny because just to go like super in depth with how I'm feeling, and I don't even think I've really shared this with you yet. But I was proud of saying no to going out with some of my girlfriends because I'd already gone out with them like the prior week and I was just doing a bunch of things. But I actually said, no, I'm not available, even though I was invited. Usually I'm like, oh, yes, it's been the pandemic. I want to say yes to everything again because I used to say no to everything.
Mhm.
And then now it's back to saying yes to like social events and then now trying to find the balance. So that meant actually saying no to some girlfriends. And then the other side of that was, I don't know, because I'm in this new relationship somehow, some way, I'm trying to prove to myself that I can balance like being in a relationship and maintaining friends. But in the end it's like, what's balance if at the end of it, I'm still overextending, because it's like, okay, well, I already saw these friends. Why am I going out spending money for brunch, lunch, dinner
Mm-hmm.
when it's not really necessary or, doesn't need to be done?
Yeah. Yeah, if you say yes to everything, it's impossible not to waste unnecessary money and
Hmm.
just like overbook yourself. Because it's
Yeah.
hard to say no, to your friends, especially if there's no legit reason. Like, I have this other thing. It's literally just I have to be home and not
Hmm.
spend money for once.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's like one of those things you kind of have to grow through.
Hmm. Okay, so that's one of them. Yeah, I'm like pretty proud of myself for saying no to that because I've just been like, I miss my friends also during the pandemic. I haven't seen any of my friends. Just you and I have been seeing each other often. But beyond that, it's been like, oh, I should be saying yes to all of these things. But now that I've seen most of the people I've been wanting to see, it's time to start reining it in again.
Mm-hmm. Proud of you, boo.
You
You're more.
too.
I know you've been practicing being more assertive, and you've come a long way.
That brings me to the next prompt. I want to give myself permission to feel blank, fill in the blank. I
Oh,
want to give myself permission to feel blank, fill in the blank. What do you want to give yourself permission to feel? Flirty?
we were talking about that earlier. No, I think I give myself too much permission being flirty. Um, you know what? You answer this one first. I need to think about it a little bit.
Okay, well, you kind of answered it for me, funnily. I said assertive. I think that's one
Mm,
of those things. That's like been the theme of my life lately, is just to be more outspoken. Um, yeah, and one of the biggest themes is that because I feel like I know myself better, um, I can be assertive again because I've done the work of trying to relocate the real me and the old me and the new me all put together into this one person that's sane. But one of the things that was missing was assertiveness
okay.
without feeling guilty, you
Right.
know.
Yeah. I think I have a similar one. I want to feel more. It's weird. The word that comes to mind is strict
Hmm.
with my boundaries, basically. Like, I don't mean to be strict like a mom strict telling you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to clear that. That's not what I mean. It's more strict with my own boundaries. And like when I don't like something, to truly express it and not feel bad about it. Yeah. I'm like too wishy-washy with certain things that I know affect me, and that's not
Same.
okay.
And do you always like I don't know about you, but I along the same lines like what I'm feeling. And then if you I don't know, sometimes now it's kind of I feel more pressure to do it or at least more incentive to actually be more assertive or speak my mind or let my feelings be known because if I don't later on it comes back and bites me in the butt.
Yeah, it's for the good of everyone. In the
Mhm.
moment, people might be like, "Oh, you're so whatever," but it's like, listen, trust me, this is better. If you understand this right off the bat, it's gonna be better for our relationship. Well, any type of relationship, friendship, romantic, even parents.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, imagine if I didn't respect my boundaries with my parents, for example, they would be living in my apartment or I would be living with them in some shape or form. And that would not be a good scenario.
Mhm.
I know we would not get along very well just because, you're an adult. So the same thing in so many other situations. Like, if you don't respect the boundaries that you know that you need, you're probably gonna end up hating each other or
Yeah,
resenting. If not hating, resenting.
that's a good word, resenting. All right, shall I go to the next one?
Oui, oui, mademoiselle.
Okay. There's a right and then an also right answer to this. I'm looking for one answer. Who are you with when you feel your best?
Oh, okay. You're just waiting. When I feel my best, oh, there's a group of people. Do I name them all?
Okay, yeah, there's like obviously not just one answer.
You are one of them.
Good. Okay. Let me
You,
reciprocate. You're also one of them, of course.
um, a bunch of other friends that I'll give shout outs to. Patricia,
Hmm.
Gracie, Chelsea. Oh my god, I love Chelsea. Honestly, my family, my brother, like my instant family, my parents and my brothers,
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good place.
and myself.
Yeah, and
I'm
yourself.
alone, like I'm having a blast.
Yes, that's how it should be. Okay, so then for me, it's you. I got a new boo.
Oh, okay. The
Oh,
boo.
my roommates are actually pretty great. Like I get along with all my roommates. Hmm. Yeah, like my roommates have actually made me feel very much at home, so that's been like key. Hmm. Let's see. I don't know, sometimes even just strangers. Just like random strangers. Um, I feel like when nobody knows me, it's I can kind of just be myself because there's no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're
sometimes it's
free.
so some exactly. So sometimes it's between somebody or people I really, really, really know, or just no one I know at all.
Honestly, I think all the people I mentioned is because we've had moments where we're such stupid dorks, and like all inhibitions have been broken down a long time ago.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's the right word, but like any sort of shame or shyness, we're like
Hmm.
long past it, and it's probably because we've like cried together, laughed together, done stupid stuff together. Like there's like I have no, I, I don't know. It's almost like in a good way,
Hmm.
you lose respect for the person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so
It's
then
like
you're both at like the same
you
level.
motherfucker. That's it.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to my friends and who else? Jenny, Imani, my college friends, Precious. Oh, Io, my other best friend. Damn, so many friends, too many to mention.
yeah.
I forgot you. Not really. You're in my heart.
Okay.
Okay. What else? Should we still dive deep into that?
No, I think
When you feel best. What's the next one? Mm, ah, because you just said that you like to spend time with yourself and
mhm.
having time with yourself is a blast. So, how would you describe your relationship with yourself in one word?
Hmm. Understanding.
Understanding. Mine would be like childish,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Okay. One word. That's
Can
it.
we explain?
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
The reason I say understanding is because it's almost like so many things can fit into that because I always understand myself. Like let's say when a friend is telling you a problem and you can sympathize and understand like where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Same like and it's kind of obvious I guess that you understand yourself, but like I've learned over the years to not give myself such a hard time about things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just myself and it's okay. And that can range from being a total, dork one day to like being super serious or wanting to sleep in. And I'm like, it's okay, you can't sleep in. Or wanting to go out and be productive, like whatever it is I feel every day, I kind of just accept it and like decide that it's okay. And like, I'm going to love myself regardless, however I feel, kind of a thing. So it's like, Yeah, it's like I'm my own friend that understands myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I getcha. I feel like it's also being kind to yourself because every day you're growing. So, a 1 week old Bianca is like going to be different from next week's Bianca. You're always growing, changing, evolving. And
Mhm.
so if you're understanding, that means you can just adapt and
Yeah,
go with the
adapt
flow.
is a good word.
Mm, yeah, mine's just childlike. Same thing. It's just, I
I
feel
think
like
we're on the
by
same.
default, as a person, like outwardly in the world, I'm so serious, take myself so seriously. I like routine, I like schedules. And so when I'm by myself and I'm doing nothing, or if I'm around like people that I'm super comfortable with, then I'll just be a child.
Mhm. Totally.
Yeah, very childlike.
Do you talk to yourself?
Sometimes, but not like I don't think I actually really talk to myself all that much
Okay.
as compared to like other people. I think I'm more like journaling is like my way of talking to myself, I guess.
Mhm.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you ask.
And it's kind of automatic. Like I don't realize it, and then I'm like, I'm talking out loud.
Mm.
Like just my thoughts. Like I literally talk to myself. I would be like, "Do you want to eat that? Yeah, you should eat it. So good." Like and out loud. If I'm by myself, I
Yeah.
would I would be saying all those things out loud.
Oh, maybe I should practice that.
Huh?
Maybe I should try that.
It just happens automatically for me. And sometimes
Yeah,
I
or
catch
maybe I
myself
will.
and I'm embarrassed because I'm like, did anyone hear me talking to myself? Oh, and you know what I've done?
Mm,
Dude, okay, sorry that I'm
yeah,
extending this so long, but here's proof that I talk to myself a lot, maybe like a bit much. I've done this many times. I would put headphones on when I'm like walking down the street and
mhm.
pretend I'm talking to someone else, but in reality, I'm just talking to myself. I'd be walking and I'd be like, wow, remember that day that I did that thing? I was so crazy. And like, I'm legit talking and I put headphones on so that people in the street think I'm having a conversation with someone, but I'm just talking to myself.
Wow. Well, that's a Bianca thing. But also really smart, no judgment.
I'm pretty sure
You
many,
got the AirPods.
yeah,
And if you think about it, most vloggers get famous like that. They just literally talk to themselves, but
maybe I'm
really the
a natural vlogger.
Mm. Let's see. Next question. What insecurity of yours holds you back the most?
In what sense? I mean, sexually or
Just insecurity. Like, what's on the top tier of your insecurity list that feels like basically, what holds you back
in general in life?
in general? Like, what insecurity of yours holds you back the most?
You go.
I think being judged. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, otherwise, I don't really care. I think I mentioned this to you. I just want to start a whole new Instagram or just social media persona
Hmm.
because whatever I have before was just not even relevant to myself anymore.
To
Like,
yeah, I've actually archived a lot of things.
hmm
And
yeah, I have like 9 posts in my personal Instagram thing, and it's just because I don't even resonate with all the stuff that I posted before. And even like my followers or the followers that I do follow right now, I just feel like it's not even giving me sparking joy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, just that being judged for who I currently am is the thing that holds me back right now.
That's great. I mean, because I understand exactly what you mean.
Hmm.
And I think the first step to overcoming that is realizing it and deciding, you know what, this is me. This is the new me, everyone. Accept it.
Hmm. Or it's even been like, it's actually been me this whole time, and I just haven't wanted to share it. And so it might come as a shock to some other people, but actually, it's been me all along, but now I'm not afraid to share it, kind of
Feel
thing.
so much.
Yeah.
because I feel like I have been doing that work too, where people, it's just like who I was before coming to New York, or even during college, is such a different person than who I am now. And I remember wanting to just be more myself and put myself out there more. And I had like this thought where I was like, I can't just do it overnight. I have to like slowly kind of introduce who I am again on social media. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm pretty ahead now because I've been doing it like little by little.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's scary. It's scary to do it like just like that because
Mm-hmm.
then people are gonna be like, "Oh, what happened? Wow, did you see Adrian's new Instagram? Like, who is she? Who does she think she is?" But
Or
it's
like I just want a whole new Instagram with no one from before. Bye. The old one's dead. She's gone.
Hannah Montana moment. When Miley Cyrus decided to leave Hannah Montana, she's like, she's dead.
That's it. Exactly. That's what I need. I need a Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus glow up.
But you're already glowing, boo.
Oh.
Just people haven't seen it because you haven't put it out there, but you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gotta start this up. We got the content. Now
Yeah,
we just need the soul.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Um
sure what holds me back. I'm having
yeah, what's yours?
because for a long time it was opinions, but
Mm.
I've been really giving less shits over the years, and I
So
don't.
that whole theme of being judged.
Yeah, but I feel like right now that's not it.
mm.
Honestly, I think what's holding me back right now is laziness. I'm gonna be
Mm.
has nothing to do with people anymore. It's just like I'm kind of lazy these days. I need to put in the work. That's it. Yeah,
There you go.
my answer.
Yeah. Well, you're doing pretty great. I mean, this podcast really runs like a lot because of you. You edit, you post, like you're just doing a lot of the things, like most of the things that are difficult and time consuming, you work on with the podcast. Like, and that's every week. It runs. So that's one thing to be very proud of, even though you call yourself lazy, you get a lot done anyway. I mean, you're checking things off every day, so it's not for nothing.
I try.
um,
I just want to do more. That's it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So yay, the hunger, the passion, yes, let's get it.
Here for it.
It's alive. We got goals. We got other things to
Also,
accomplish.
I'm being patient with myself because honestly, I feel this lazy since the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, like in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done anything since the pandemic. But if you think about my life realistically, since the pandemic hit, I was going through a lot. Like the first month with the whole moving, then moving again, then going to the yard, then back. Like now is the time when I'm actually settled and now I can do something. But it wasn't realistic to expect of myself to be like working on all these projects while I was going through all that. So I
Mm-hmm.
just gotta
Yeah.
keep it realistic and be like patient and nice to myself. I'm just like, it's been too long and I haven't worked on something. So I'm feeling
Mm-hmm.
that hunger, like you said.
Yeah, and I think it's like redefining what purpose is,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I feel like before purpose is getting up, going to work, doing work, and then coming home, feeding yourself, and then doing it all over again. And that was purpose. Now purpose is
Anymore.
self.
Mhm.
So what do we then now do with ourselves? And that was the whole thing too. Yeah. I was kind of like looking through our roster of podcasts in season 1, just because we're almost done with season 2. Um, And so I was looking back at the first few episodes, and I just remember that time in my life where it was just go, go, go. Yeah, like getting a job or running my own company, and then breaking up, and then getting an apartment, and then moving, and then adapting, and then redefining like what it is to do, and like a routine, and then new roommate. I just knew everything,
Mhm.
and then a pandemic. So every day is just like catching up. Like now we kind of have the space to catch up and
Yeah. No.
reflect. because before it was just grind.
Yeah. And no time to really think why you're doing it and what
Mhm.
you really want. So at the same time, I'm really grateful that I've been amongst all the moving and dealing with the pandemic,
Mhm.
having time to myself because I've been able to redefine what success looks like for me, what I really
Mhm.
want to achieve, what I think my purpose is. So at the end of the day, it all counts. Even the time that you weren't doing anything specific, that
Mhm.
time was also valuable because you had like time to reflect and time to think,
Yeah.
time to yourself, and time to be still. And
Mhm.
that's also valuable.
Yeah, just like detoxify. It
Hmm.
takes time. It takes a lot of time and work to detoxify. I feel like um yeah, that's what a virus will do to you. Really make you rethink
It's a
with it. What's toxic emotionally and physically. Boy, all right. What's okay, I think we covered that. Insecurity, a lot of being judged and
and that's
opinions of other people. Um yeah,
laziness, but it's
lazy.
all about slowly getting yourself back on track.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, what's the next one? Maybe this is also pretty similar. What lesson took you the longest to unlearn? Like,
Whoa, these just hit hard. Like
these are very hard.
what took me the longest to unlearn? There's so many things.
I'm still, I mean, oh, I told you this actually, but growing up, I knew that I was like one of those people. Basically, throughout the process of my 20s, just I think this happens to a lot of us in our 20s. I think one of the things that I had to unlearn was how do I rephrase it? It's so difficult, but or like it sounds confusing, but you, for example, you grow up, you're a confident kid, and then the world breaks you down and breaks you down and breaks you down, and then you lose your backbone. And so the thing that I'm trying to unlearn is bringing back my backbone.
No,
It goes along the theme of being assertive. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I need to unlearn the toxic thoughts of, oh, if you think highly of yourself, that's a bad thing. Oh, you're confident? That's bad. No, I'm trying to unlearn all of that. I mean, at some point there to a certain extent you have to also be humble. But for the most part, it's that just like trying to minimize myself to make others look better. That's what I'm trying to unlearn.
or to make others comfortable.
Or to make others comfortable. Exactly. Can you tell me what that book was again? I think our viewers would really like
Yeah.
that book as a recommendation.
Actually, I have it right behind me, so I'll just roll over.
Amazing.
Oh no, now people are gonna see I'm not actually wearing a nice outfit because I have workout pants.
I mean, I'm wearing sweatpants.
Okay, great.
So
um, it's Year
this
of Yes.
blazer is for show. Sorry, what was the name of the book?
The name of the book is Year of Yes, but I'm gonna read what I showed you the other day.
Yes.
It's so funny.
I
We were
need that.
talking about this on our way to Chicago, and I was like, dude, I swear I read that. I read about that the same morning, and I showed Adrian. So I'm going to show you guys now. Year of Yes is by Shonda Rhimes, and if you don't know, she's a writer for Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, Grey's Anatomy, and she's basically a badass and such a successful woman in her career. And even she is super not confident. So the Year of Yes, I mean, it really encompasses many topics, but the one that I am just done reading was about like loving yourself. So in this part, she's complaining about how she used to tell people when they complimented her on her work that she was lucky. She was like, "Oh, I'm just lucky. I have such a great team. Really, I'm so lucky to have my secretary and blah blah blah." and she's just being really real in this chapter. She's like, no one succeeds in mere luck. Not in the she stripped and fell right into a television ratings chart way. Lucky implies I didn't do anything. Lucky implies something was given to me. Lucky implies that I was handed something I did not earn, that I did not work hard for. Gentle reader, may you never be lucky. I am not lucky. You know what I am? I am smart. I am talented. I take advantage of opportunities that come my way. And I work really, really hard. Don't call me lucky. Call me a badass. And then she says, okay, now I'm going to admit something to you. That was all an act. There is a part of my brain that is screaming at me right now for giving myself all these compliments, screaming and wringing her brainy little hands and nervously hopping around. You cannot say that out loud. People will think you believe you are, that I am what? Into myself? Cocky, immodest, brazen, in love with myself? That I think I'm special? Shudder, shake, hop, flip out? I wrote that whole series of compliments to myself as part of my yes. And it was hard to do. I feel like a complete jerk the whole time I was writing it. And the sad part is, right up until I got to badass, those weren't even compliments, those were facts. Did I just say that I'm actually worried that people will think I am into myself? I am worried that people will think that maybe I think I'm special, that I am in love with myself. Wait, isn't that the goal? Don't people pay money to listen to licensed therapists to get into themselves, to fall in love with themselves, to think they're special? And she keeps going. And then at the end it says, you know what? I think we've all been raised to do so, which I highlighted. Because it's true. It's like what we are raised to bring ourselves down in a way.
Oh, yeah, so raised to do so. Like, that's exactly it. See, things that we need to unlearn is this whole thing of making yourself less than others because people are threatened with your confidence, you just doing you.
Mm-hmm.
When was that ever there? Like, I don't understand where this comes from. And
in the first place.
And it's still until now, like, it's really taken the longest to unlearn. And I feel like you're right there with me.
Yeah, I am. And you know, when I read that, I remember I also felt guilty because, and I was true with myself because when I was little, like you said, as a kid, you're confident because you don't even know that there's people that are criticizing you until one day you do. Mm-hmm. And then one day people did, and I kind of shrunk. I didn't let any part of myself show. I became shy. I became like the girl in the back, you know?
And I started to believe the other people. Then it's like, yeah, why do you think highly of yourself, Adrian? Okay, let me just, oh, sorry.
But then, you know what? Because I was criticized and I believed it and I was put in the backseat like that, I resented all those people, like from school, let's say.
Yeah.
And when I saw, like, let's say the popular girls or whatever, be all confident in themselves, I would be the one in my head because I was too shy and intimidated to say it out loud. But in my head, I was like, these people are so into themselves. They're so cocky. I would never wear that dress. It's too much. But that, like, all of that is so toxic. The fact that they put me down and then that I believed it and then that I resent people who were confident after that for the longest time. Then I grew up and I'm like just regaining my confidence. And I'm like, you know what? Looking back, good for people that like themselves that much to take photos and post them on Facebook. Like, to be honest, that was never a bad thing. I was just resentful because I didn't feel confident enough to do it myself. But in reality, if no one criticized in the first place, we could all just be ourselves from the beginning, and that's it. And love ourselves, and that's it.
Exactly. So that's the biggest thing to unlearn, really. And until now, it's still very much a thing. I think even just culturally in in non-American culture, like in other parts of the world where like family is like also this really big thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
even harder because you're very much controlled by older people all the time, adults, when really actually we're adults ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that we can think for ourselves and self-correct, and just learn to be self-aware and know to trust that we have a bunch of our own peers that can relate to us or can, respectfully disagree with us.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy.
Like you said, it's almost like a cycle of life.
Mm-hmm.
You're a kid, you're doing your own thing, then one day someone puts you down, you start to believe it, then you grow into a teenager, and then as an adult, and then you like slowly pick yourself back up. But it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole process. I can tell you, I've been trying to lift myself back up confidence wise.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 13.
Last question to wrap up this prompt game of We're Not Really Strangers. As you can see, it goes really deep, but also like some of them you can really answer like with one word. Um, so last one is, if you could have it your way, who would you be? Where would you be?
Oh my God.
And what would you be doing?
Oh my God. You know what is crazy? I've actually been thinking a lot about this lately because I'm gonna do a little shout out, non-sponsored.
Mhm.
I just downloaded an app for meditation called Insight, I think. I'm gonna double check
Mhm.
and link it in the description. Um, and the main theme that I was drawn towards since the first day that I started using it to meditate
Mhm.
was manifestations and putting into the universe the things that you really desire.
Mhm.
And I swear to you, I did not know this is what I wanted until I started meditating, like with the intention. I just kind of went into it openly to see what my mind would say.
Mhm.
And it was kind of very specific. So, wait, let's go question
Pretty
by question.
specific question. So the first one is, who would you be with? Oh, it says who would you be with?
With? Oh, okay. I would be alone, actually. I don't picture myself with anyone.
And that's why I didn't even see the with part. I just like completely didn't even see it. I just said, who would you be?
I'll be myself
Yeah. Yeah.
alone.
Or I guess like what kind of like what would your career be? I guess that's like how I read it.
Okay.
But the actual question in the prompt was who would you be with? But we can just make it Women in the Wild version and be like, who would you be? Where would you be? And what would you be doing?
Okay. So I would be Bianca Rosario. I would, and I would be finally a therapist.
Mm.
And I would be working remotely. And I
Mm.
am living in Rio de Janeiro.
Ooh.
I'm going first thing in the morning to the beach. And I'm gonna like surf for the first half of the day. And then I'm gonna sit in a share lounge by the beach after I'm exhausted from surfing. I'm gonna order an espresso martini, while on the other hand, I have my, let's say, iPad, and I'm attending my clients virtually and talking to people and helping them have confidence in themselves and feel happy. And that would be my perfect ideal day in like maybe 3 years or 4 years. And I'm so excited.
Oh my God, I love that for you. I'm gonna visit you, and then you'll always have a home here in New York, so you can visit me.
And then at night, I go out with my girlfriends, or maybe there's a boo, but he's like
Who knows?
nighttime duty or something. Or at least, we're both doing our thing during the day. We have jobs, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really don't,
Good jobs, I guess.
because I
Because
really,
jobs are like not the priority anymore.
they're not. Because the thing about me mentioning that they're doing something else is because really that image is very vivid in my head. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of it is that I'm alone. Like even surfing, I just imagine having the beach to myself.
Mm.
That's the beauty of it, you know? It's different if there's someone. Like then I'm like trying to entertain the other person. No, no, no. I'm just doing me. Then
Mm-hmm.
after nighttime comes, I go do something fun, I guess.
Yeah.
So specific, but it's really, I'm like manifesting that very
Mhm.
strongly lately. How about you?
How about me? Well, first of all, I really love that for you. I feel like that would be so amazing. The beach and the turtles. Let's not forget your new obsession with all the turtles.
Hopefully there are sea turtles around.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh my God. Um, yeah, that sounds amazing. When did you just realize this, manifest this?
Last week.
Last week? Okay, so this is very current update.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, so if you could have it my way, if I could have it my way, okay, I'd have a nice, well, it's kind of, we're getting there. Like a nice, because like, okay, I really love New York City and the East Coast, so I don't really think I'd be moving like too far away from here. Because the whole theme of this, of like why I think New York is also home base, is because of that whole attempt of trying to go move to the UK for grad school and it not happening, and I blocked off a whole year. So I'm like, okay. And all my life I've been traveling and back and forth, different homes and like places to live. So I'm like, okay, New York is really the place. I just need to decide and be done with it. And I've decided. And I could have it my way. It would be a nice place upstate with a nice pond, preferably 10 dogs. I don't even care. They can rotate. I'll foster dogs. I don't even give a
Dude,
shit.
please do the dogs, just no cats.
We're going to have cats because that's if I had it my way.
Wait.
Grew up with
Oh,
cat too
gotcha. So
anyway.
it's not you that wants the cats.
Oh, I want the cats even before
Oh,
this dude. I wanted cats.
I'll bring this to your house.
We'll have it for you. I have even family members that are allergic to cats,
Okay.
so yeah. There's gonna be like a cat free room. Because I mean there's gonna be an art room, so we can't have all the fur in that room anyway. So there's already, yeah, don't worry. We're gonna have a process. Um Lots of animals, lots of fish aquariums and tanks, just lots of hiking, and then ideally I'd want a corporate job in like design or product management because I feel like that's just an amalgamation of all the things I do well in tech and art.
Mhm.
Um, and then I want like a creative consulting business. Like I still want my own full-time business because that gives me joy. And then on the weekends, I just want to shoot like elopement weddings because that's also what I found that it's like I'm
What?
so burnt out. Like elopement weddings, you know those like weddings that are 15 people or less, usually done in the mountains or by the beach or some random location that isn't a church or indoors or something. Um, and it's kind of becoming a like more popular with COVID because people can't really have large weddings,
Uh-huh.
um, which is perfect because I love to hike. I think being upstate also lets me access all those areas too. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Super doable.
And
I
I
think
think it's even funny because I've written, I need to look for that exact journal, or I think I've even scribbled it down somewhere. But when I was a kid, my grandma, I need to like search her, all her things. But I used to have this like little journal or like those essays that you would write as a kid of what you wanted. And that's almost actually what I wrote. Not necessarily like upstate New York. I was never that specific, but it was like, because I grew up with a pool, so it was like something with like water and lots of trees and animals. We're getting closer.
yeah, yeah.
And
Dude,
then I can't really move away from like the city because I still do like my editorial fashion stuff and corporate all business shenanigans.
ideally I mean, if it's really my way, I would also have a place here so I can like come back because I love New York too much.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I can have a place in Brooklyn forever that I can
Mm-hmm.
come back to. That would be cool. But in the winter, I'll go to Rio.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like I wish, like that's what I want. I want like a condo or like some kind of little beach house in the Philippines just to
Yeah,
have.
so you get it.
You know, invest in your own country, invest in other countries too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And they can both be studios. I'm a simple person. oh my God, I almost forgot.
Hmm.
Obviously, I need a pug in my life.
Obviously, you
So
need a.
that's who I'm with. That's
who you're with.
that's what.
Figured it out.
There we go. I have a pug next to me.
We mentioned dogs a while ago. We didn't even think of pugs. We thought of turtles, but not pugs.
Oh my god! And he can have his own surfboard, and we go surfing together. And he's like,
"Oh my gosh, that's so cute!" Or you can put him on a little life vest.
Oh my god! Yes, that's
What
right.
are you gonna name your pug? Okay, we need suggestions for Bianca's pug names. Okay, leave them in the comments, guys.
Yeah, I think we're close. I think both of our desires or dreams are realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh my gosh. So talking about unrealistic. I remember when I was in college, just to like wrap up this conversation, because of like how I ended up to this, like how we ended up in these really realistic goals. Okay, I'm in my mid-20s already. And I remember when I was in college and I was calculating how much money I was going to make when I'm employed full time. I thought I was going to make $80,000 or like $100,000 and be a piece of cake. I can save, do all these things. No. There are so many other things that happen in between. So yeah, I think that's where all of our high expectations come from and why we like end up failing so easily or have different expectations in the beginning for like when we leave college. But that's so funny when I used to think that I can make so much money, have a nice mansion here in New York City, and
Mansion.
Yeah, or like, a nice loft or whatever. By the time I was 25, and where are we today? Completely perfectly happy where we should be. Definitely not a ginormous loft. That's impossible.
I don't know. I think I was just too focused on the day to day, but I had never thought like, oh, I'm gonna live in this kind of place and have these things and make this money. Like, I never thought of that. I'm more like I wanna make sure I do this in my life, kind of thing. Like now, I'm like I wanna make sure I live for some time in Rio and surf.
Yeah.
And, pursue therapy because that's something I'm into lately. But it's never like one day I'm gonna make this amount. And it's just different ways of thinking. Yours is probably better because it's more specific, like bullet point list, like I want to have this goal done by certain age.
But it put a lot of pressure on me in the beginning, and that's always the feedback I got from like my grandparents or like family, that it's like, oh, you just put too much pressure on yourself, or you're trying to rush things, or you're too impatient, this and that. And it's like, yeah, I was just also being unrealistic and burnt myself out. And now I'm so chill and have more realistic goals that just and these are like different goals that are achievable but make me just as happy. There's nothing lost at all. Like I am just the same happy whether or not I would have ended up in some mansion, honestly. Like
Yeah, that's what really
probably matters. I'm even better off. Actually, no, I know I'm better off.
That's what really matters. Is like the small things that will make you happy. And focus on getting those things one at a time.
I think, yeah, finding our own happiness and focusing on our happiness is so underrated.
Oh yeah, not to impress anybody, not to show anything, just to live your life and be happy.
Yeah, be surrounded by people who are not threatened by your true happiness.
And if they are, be like, hey man, I wish you love and peace and healing, and I'm gonna keep doing my thing.
Yeah, and watch our podcast. Maybe you'll learn something from it.
Or you can
just slap them.
So let us know what you guys thought of those questions. If you want to, feel free and answer some of them. Go for it on our comment section or DM us what you think.
Or leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts with your answers.
Or do that. Yeah, but we hope, regardless, that it made you think a little bit about your own goals, your own life, the things that make you happy, because that was really the main purpose of this episode, just to have a little communal reflection with you guys. And we hope you enjoyed it and got to know us more.